Hey family, welcome to the Hub. Oh my goodness. I am so excited because today I have Candice Camille, the wellologist from the DMV. How you doing, girlfriend?
I am absolutely fabulous. Is how I'm doing. I am amazing.
That's good. That's good. So, y'all, I heard some things about Candice and had to have her on the show. So, Candice, we're really nosy here on the Coach Cast show. So, I want to know your love journey. Where you been when it comes to love? Because you've grown. So tell us a little bit of what love has done to you in your past. What has that journey been like?
Listen, I'm really grown, number one. So you sure you want to jump into this? Like where I've been, what I've done. I
Yeah,
got like
girl,
I
come
got
on.
60 years up under my belt to tell you some fruit things. So I've been around a few blocks.
Oh,
I've been around a few blocks, but all in all, when you look at it, let me go way back because again, just coming from my childhood and being from a place where you were never loved because again my story goes from horrific to terrific. So we were abused kids, so there was no love in the house at all. There was nothing. It was nothing that we went through where it says love. It was like survival, right? So my father's way of showing love was to hit my mother, so we went through domestic violence situations, generational. So what I thought was love was the fact that because this is something that my mom told me, that if a man hits you, that's his way of showing that he loves you and all of that stuff. So you walk into your journey going through life with some of those things, and some of those things that happened to me. So when it happened to me, I didn't think anything of it because again, this is something my mother told me, that this was love. That was what love was all about. Till I learned later on, no, this is not what it's all about. No one, how the hell are you going to be showing me you love me and you beating the hell out of me? So I learned quick and in a hurry and how to get out of those relationships, as I got into each and
wait a
every one of
second.
them.
How did you learn to get out of those relationships? Because there's some people that are stuck in that place, right? And they feel like every person will abuse them, and they feel like that's the only thing that relationships look like. So what did that epiphany even look like, Candice? How did you get there?
Well, it wasn't just an epiphany. I realized that I deserved more. I sat there
Mhm.
and said, you know what? I was a smart kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I deserve better than this. I don't know how my mom went through this, but in the moment, you're scared. You don't have anything. You're stuck, and never mind stuck. You paralyzed. But once you really make a decision and you say, I deserve better than this, now it's time to create a plan. See, because a lot of times people will say, why didn't you just go? Go where? You're stuck there, you're
Yeah.
paralyzed. So you have to figure out how you're going to get out. I had a daughter at the time. So it's like, how do I get out of this? So I had to pretty much become him, so he can trust me, so I can get a hold of some money. So I
Huh.
stole some money. I did some stuff, putting some money aside. I just didn't grab no shopping bag and say I was going. I know if
Right.
I was going to be okay and my daughter was going to be okay, because I had already tried some of the women's shelters, the battering shelters. They treat you just as bad as he was. So you're being battered all the way around. So
Hmm.
you figure you got to have some money. I knew up front that I needed a plan. So I cultivated a plan. So I started being that good girl, like doing everything he said, but in my mind, I was scheming and plotting that I was getting out of there. And but to believe it or not, Cass, it took me a year. It took me a year to say, you know what, I'm getting out. But when I got out, I had snuck and went to school. I had got a certificate in respiratory therapy. I had a job lined up for me, and I was stealing his money all a while so I can get out. So that's exactly how I got out of there, because I deserve more. Now, he found out he didn't want me out. He didn't want me to leave. So one last time, he beat the hell out of me to get up out of there. But see, again, I was already in that mindset. I deserve better. So I'm going to kill your ass. And that's exactly what I tried to do. So I literally ran him over to get out of there. So I really became him. So again, it's something when you think about it, it's like now as you got to fight for your life, because he really was trying to kill me. So I got out of the house, got in the car, and he ran down and he threw a brick at the car. And I figured, ain't no love lost here. Your kid is in this car. So I'm just going to run your ass over. And that's exactly what I did. So I tried to kill him. And then I ran home to my mother, because now they're, like, what the hell did I just do? I'm going to jail. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm beat up in a hospital with handcuffed, only because we both in the hospital, because he was really bad.
Don't tell me they put you next to each other.
Oh, no. We were in two different hospitals, because I ran to another city, and his mama, I should have ran her ass over too. But he went he went to a hospital someplace else, and I was someplace else. But again, one of the things, you got to own your own, what you do, own up to what you do. I became him. So I became a batterer as well, even though it was trying to save my life and my kid's life. And that's how they looked at it, that I ran him over. The car was a weapon, and I tried to kill him. So that's basically, so I got in trouble for that. I mean, it all worked out in the end, but that was how I got away, because after subduing all the abuse for so long, and even in that last year, just plotting to get out of there, he found out. So once he found out, he literally, because he knew I was going to go either way. So he was going to kill me in that day. But like I said, in that moment, I deserve more. I deserve more. And I think, and I didn't know back then anything about, having a love affair with yourself or loving yourself or any of that. It was just about survival, and I deserve more. I was a smart kid. I was in college. Circumstances, I got pulled out when I became homeless, and he took me off the street. So, but getting back to my life, and that's what I wanted to get back to. And I wanted more for my daughter. She deserved more, and I deserve more. So in that moment, it was survival, and I got out. So that's how I got out of that. I deserve more, cultivated a plan, stuck to it, and then I got out of there. What happened in the end was not part of the plan, but sometimes when there's an interruption, you got to do something about it and still get back to your plan. I was not going to let him stop me no matter what.
Man, you can't mess with a Jersey girl. Okay. Hey, play around if you want to. So then how did you essentially turn your life around? Because that's a lot of chaos and stress and all the things on your mind, right? So then how did you even come to a place of peace and love and joy?
Well, after a while, like I said, things did get a little worse before they got better. So you work in it. But remember, I said I had a plan. So I continue to work the plan no matter how it got. So again, I took my daughter, I took my son, because my daughter was 4 at the time. My son was 7 months. So he was little baby. So I took them. And, like I said, during that year time, I went to respiratory school. So I had a job lined up and everything. So it was just a matter of getting my kids secured so I can go to work and they can go to school. So I went back and I stayed with my sister. Like I said, a lot of chaos. I stayed with my sister. I went to work and I took care of my kids. I went to work, took care of my kids. All of our free times we spent in the library, because now it's just time to get better. So it was probably about a 3 years before I even thought about getting into another relationship or anything, just dealing with my own brokenness,
Yeah.
because again, when you're talking about your past limiting beliefs and what you've gone through, I realized I was messed up.
Yeah.
I was just messed up. I needed some help. So a lot of times, we are taught, not to elicit the help. You can't tell nobody your business. You got to tell God, your
Right.
grandparents, everybody tell you to go to God, and I was like, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. I'm still jacked up.
Yeah.
I need somebody to help me. So I literally went and got a therapist. When I
Good.
got to work, I started working in St. Michael's Hospital. I never forget. And I got a therapist and I worked my way through everything. I mean, back from my horrificness to me turning it into terrificness. So
Mhm.
again, I went and got help.
Mhm.
I just didn't go talk to God or keep it to out myself because
Right.
especially in the Black community, we are, it's taboo. You
Right.
just don't tell your dirty laundry. But I did get help. Therapists helped me understand, generational abuse, where it comes from. It doesn't have to be, and how do you break the cycle to gently start falling in love with yourself. And basically, I didn't know anything about that until I met a man, right? Till I met another man, right? A man that helped me fall in love with my naked soul. See, and that was my husband.
Oh.
See, he says to me one day, I met him again. I was in college, went back to school. I went to Newark College of Engineering. It's called New Jersey Institute of Technology then. Back then, went down in school, met him. He was a cop at the time, giving me a ticket, cussed him out, right? Out, right? But this man was persistent. He was persistent, and we were together for 28 years, married for 23, right? So in that time, he helped me really, really just have this own love of self.
Yeah.
He would tell me, you were so beat down all of your life, you don't even know when somebody's really trying to love you. So,
Yeah.
and that's like I said, I got help because I had to know what that was. And
Yeah.
one day he said to me, I'm in love with your naked soul. Why aren't you? I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
I was this street kid, this girl, is literally the rags to riches story when it comes to that level of love.
Yeah.
Right. And we were good together. I mean, to this day, my husband has died, but you're talking about a love that I never knew. He was literally the love of my life because he taught me how to love, how to want more, what to expect, never to settle
Yeah.
or anything. He taught me what that love was. We sort of like just gelled together,
Yeah.
in that sense. We didn't have sex troubles. We didn't have money troubles. We didn't have talk and communication troubles.
Mm.
So those are the things that generally you have trouble with inside of your relationship. We didn't have that. We really were that force of one. But when I got sick, again, my husband dropped everything because this was the time that I've gotten cancer. That's what I said. Life had gotten really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm with the love of my life. And here we come with this based on what I had done in the past.
Mm.
And so he left, he dropped everything and he took care of me. I am here today having this conversation with you because he put me first instead of himself. And he lost his life for it. Right. So
Mm.
because he did not take care of him, all
Mm.
he was worried about was his wife. That was all he was worried about. He
Yeah.
says life would be unbearable without you. So he did not come back around when I got well,
Mm.
So he did, die of a heart disease,
Mm.
as we moved through. And that probably, oh my God, so about 15 years ago. So
Mm.
15, 17 years, I have been single, right? So again, having the love of my life and trying to Oh, find another man that can just measure up.
Yeah, you guys. So tell us about that. Tell us about that. Like, was there a clear, stark decision where you said, all right, I'm gonna try this dating thing? Or did it just happen? Like what did you do? What did you do?
It got to the point because I never thought that I would be, in my 50s, early in 50s, 40 years old and be single. Because, I was with this man and I knew that we were so good, we're going to be okay for the rest of our life. We were going to do old age together. Like this was it. The kids were going to be gone. We're going to be traveling the world. So I never thought that I would be in this place by myself.
Mm,
And my kids are grown. Your kids get grown, they ain't thinking about you. When they want money, they calling you. But hey, mom, just checking in, but they ain't thinking about you. So
right.
they going off and living their life as they should. And here you are by yourself. So no, I thought on those lonely days, like where do you go meet men? But one of the things I did, and I went on a few dates here and there, several of them actually. And one of the things I know, like I said, that my husband taught me, Cass, is that
Mhm.
not to settle,
Yeah.
and a lot of the relationships and everything that's going on today, good Lord, they just hookups. I wish you would just say, listen, I'm just looking to get laid, leave me
Right.
alone, right? But
Right.
they're not being honest, but actually this is what they want. I'm just looking to get laid. So I've even going on dates. I'm like, what are you looking for? Because if you're looking to get laid, I'm not that chick.
Right.
So we're not gonna figure this out, and you're not gonna sample your goods and all of that bullshit. We ain't doing all of that because I have more respect for my own self. You ain't gotta do no test run. I mean, this is all the stuff that they used to say. Oh,
Yeah.
we just want to do a test run to see if it's okay. I'm like, this is a bunch of bullshit. Are you kidding me? Right? That they even have the audacity to say that. So again, where you're God going on blind dates, or your girlfriend hooked you up, or you done went to the dating sites, and that's just a whole nother thing because that's just a hookup. I mean, just based on some of the things that we are doing as women,
Mm,
so they're looking for all women to do that. Listen, if that's your thing, that's your thing, but it's not my thing. I had one guy tell me, you know what? You're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life if you keep acting like that. I said, but at the likes of you, I'm okay with that.
like where did you meet him? How did you meet him?
But the dude that I'm dating now, or are you talking about the
Yeah.
internet dude?
The
Oh,
the, the
so after all of that, I had given up for a while. So for a couple of years, I was like, I don't have time for this internet dates. And just like any other woman, I just put all of my energy into my business and, working, playing with my grandkids and just doing business. So I didn't think about it. But one of the things that, again, just reading books and the laws of attraction, that there was a man out there waiting for me. He's looking for me. He is going to find me. But I needed to list down what I want. So, I wrote a letter to God. This is what I want. I want 6'6". I need chocolate drops. I need muscles. I need somebody that's in the wellness field. And I mean, I got specific. I need somebody that don't eat steak because I ain't cooking it. So I mean, I got very, very specific with it, and I'm gonna need him to show up. And so for me, being, I'm gonna say, a sassy, spicy 60-year-old, right? And for and no shade on nobody, but the average 60-year-old man that I was meeting, they couldn't keep up with me, right? So they just wanted to come home and sit down. I'm like, are you kidding me? This big ball of energy, it ain't happening. So I needed somebody that was high energy, like me, that loved to be adventurous and be out.
Mhm.
So I like I said, I had given up on meeting men. So a couple of years ago, out bike riding, because I'll get on my bike and just go 20, 30 miles in a minute. And I
Mhm.
was in the parking lot just coming back from my bike ride, and I'm taking a selfie of me because I just did my 20 miles. This was hot. I had it up there. I think the muscle was out a little bit because it was warm, so I was flexing. was flexing. And this dude pulled into the parking lot where we were, and he pulled his truck over a few cars down from mine. He's like, "You taking a selfie on the bike?" I said, "Yeah, because I think I'm cute after doing me 20 miles, right?" And he said, "Well, I think you're cute too." I said, "Well, this picture will be better, if you come and take it from me, right?" So he did. He says, "Can I get in the picture with you?" I was like, "No, I don't know you." I said, "What's your name?" So he gave me his name. He says, "Can I give you my phone number?" I said, "Well, whatever happened to the gentleman asking for the woman's phone number? Like, what is this about?" He says, "I'm a little cautious, in asking women things because sometimes you get so much pushback." So we were bothly in the same space. I said, "Well, listen here, dude." I says, "I'm from the city, but I am that old Southern belle. I'm gonna need a gentleman. So I'm going," I said it just like that. I said, "So I'm looking for a gentleman. I'm looking for those things. I'm that Southern belle chicks that love the doors being open for them." Right there in the parking lot, I'm gonna know this guy from Adam. I says, "But I will give you my number and we could exchange numbers," right? So, and that's basically how it started, like I said. And again, we start texting, the normal thing. And I let them know off the bat, "Listen, I'm not a text talk chick. You don't need to call me. Uh, I'm gonna call you," right?
Love
So
it.
we started, just talking, having a conversation. Of course, we met on the bike trail. So
Yeah.
as we're riding bikes, and because we were long distance cycling, we had a lot of time to talk. So riding the bikes, we just discovered the trails in Maryland, and we started riding and riding and riding. And as time went on, and after having a conversation, we just started getting closer and closer. So in this moment, we knew that this was it. So, and again, I'm that chick, like, I'm not trying to see Joe Blow over here. This is something that you and I are going to do. So we're going to have the conversation about it. So one of the things about it is that we talk and we talk and we talk. And I think for women, they just don't say what they want, because sometimes we get in that space of, "I'm just so glad I got a man."
Right.
Um, it's okay. And I wanted to make sure, because like I said, I always say I'm gonna live to be 150, but my time and my energy is precious to me. And if I'm going to give you that, I have to know where it's leading. I mean, I am about straight up no chaser type of a thing. So we talked about all of that. We talked about, listen, if you just want to get laid, you may let me know because you're kind of cute. But I may be considering doing that, but I'm just not that chick. I'm telling you, I may consider it just because you're cute. That was it. So we had those type of conversations, but it was a minute before we got intimate with each other. So that was the best part about it. So it took them a minute. You got to let them chase for a while.
I love all of this. Oh my goodness. So Candice, when we spoke earlier before we started the recording, you shared about making room. Can you share that concept?
Oh yeah. So in my period of, I just said, the hell with it, the hell with men. I don't want to be bothered. I just don't have time. It's just too much work. I ain't got no time to be bringing up no little boys. All that stuff that we women say to ourselves, right?
Mhm.
So went in my work in it. Like I said, I'm a sports car chick. And I use this, I love sports cars, and I love them, the ones that only got 2 seats, right? And I always say that when we want something, we really have to make room. Even though I was talking all that smack about, I didn't want a man, I didn't have time, but secretly in our mind and our subconscious, we want a man. We always want a man. It's just the course of life, right? And if we were to be honest with ourselves, but at the end of the day, a lot of us, and even for myself, I didn't have room. I was like, even when you think about it, I got 2 seats. Even if I met somebody who knew I was going to meet him on a bike, but I got to see, even if I met somebody, where would they fit in my life? Because even on my seat beside me, I have my water bottles, my computers, my jump rope, all the things that I love to do, I carry with me. Right. So a lot of times, if we don't move all of that stuff out of the way, if we don't move some things out of the way in order to make room for them to come or be attracted, they're never going to come. See, we got to be willing to sacrifice some stuff. So I was willing to sacrifice some things and compromise, for myself to make the room to say, you know what, I am now open for him to find me. And as he pulled into that parking lot, he found me. The thing about it, you never know when it's going to happen. I didn't go out there looking for him. I went out there to ride my bike for 20 miles. Well, let me just be very, very clear. I'm always cute. You always got to be cute. You got to keep the cute factor going, right?
20 miles is still cute.
You still, I got my head tied up, got my helmet on. Well, I had took my helmet off by then. But at this point, you still, no matter how you look at it, when you're thinking about men, they are visual creatures. They are going to look at you, and there has to be some level of attraction. So for me, I think the sex appeal, I think it's our God-given right as women to be sexy, right? But I just think it's so that the sex appeal is always there no matter what you're in, because I probably get more traction when I'm in my, not like this, ain't nobody paying me no attention. He is now, but when I get all glammed up, ain't nobody thinking about me. But listen, when I put on my little skivvies and my little workout clothes and my sneakers, they running after me. So I love it.
Hey.
I love it, but that's basically what it was. So when I made the room to move out of the way, it's never too late. You just have to make a decision as to that's what you wanted. So even with that, when I got open to it, even though I wasn't actively on the dating sites anymore, even though I wasn't actively saying to my friend, don't y'all got some male friends, or don't somebody got some brothers, anything like that. I was no longer actively doing that, but I was still open, because a lot of times, like I said, we tell our subconscious that we don't want it, so it closes itself down. But when you move things out of the way and you get open to, this is something I really want. But here was the biggest thing that I've learned through all of that I didn't have to work to get a man. I just simply had to work on me. And that was it. Every day I get up, we've been together for a minute now. I don't do anything differently now than I did when I met him. I didn't change anything about me. I didn't do anything. I still pretty much work on myself to be the best version of me. And I know, once again, that he will love me just for being. So it is not something that I have to try to work at. Only thing that I do is just be me.
Beautiful. Come on. Come on, Candice. How can these ladies find you that want to connect with the Wellologist?
Well, just that I am at the Wellologist, and that's WELLOLOGIST. I am at the Wellologist on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Candice Camille, that you can link in. And you can also go to my website, CandiceCamille.com. Why? Because I teach women to be sexy, fit, and well. I'm sexy, I'm fit, I'm well.
Oh my goodness. Man, if y'all didn't get something, I know I got many things from this interview, and I just appreciate you, Candice, for coming out. So everyone that is listening in, please do share this episode with a friend, hit the 5 stars, and make sure to hang out with Candice. I'll see y'all soon. Continue to live, continue to love, continue to laugh. Much love, many blessings. Hi, family.
Thank you.